Hi, it's Gemma from gemmastone.org, and I have another question that needs to be answered. So I'm going to read the question to you here. Dear Gemma, I totally love your videos. It's great to hear your voice and see your face. Thank you. Here's my question. I'm thinking about starting a blog and I'm terrified of criticism. Do people criticize you, and if they do, how do you deal with it? I've heard you're going to be having a new website soon. It's true, I am. So excited. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to show it to you. I hope you're going to keep doing your video blogs. Yes, I am. So keep sending in your questions. So to answer this week's question, this one is from B. So thank you for your question, B. To answer your question, yes, I do absolutely get criticism. And to be honest, it was pretty tough to take, especially in the beginning. So there are some things that I've learned along the way. So the first is you really got to amp up your self-love. It ends up being this sort of like soft cushion that you get to fall back on when you hear the criticism. So that's the number one. The second is to really focus on being authentic. So for a little while there, I was writing for other people's approval. I was writing what I thought other people wanted to hear. And then when they actually didn't want to hear what I thought they wanted to hear, it was sort of like painful. So the second step is definitely be authentic. Don't write for other people's approval. Just write for what's true for you. Of course, in the back of your mind, you're going to want it to be helpful for others, but it's not completely about them. It's a lot about you. The next step that was really important for me was to be okay with reality. In the beginning, I didn't really realize that putting myself out there on the web makes life a little more complicated, and it does. Definitely makes more life complicated and less private, but also for me, it's made it more rewarding. So be okay with the reality of just what happens when you get out on the interweb and people start seeing your life online. That's the third tip I would have. The fourth would be to maintain the perspective. So some bits of criticism that you're going to get might actually be helpful, and I've had a few bits that have really changed the way that I write and blog and the way that I live. So super helpful. What I find is that most of the really nasty stuff is usually about the person that's delivering the criticism. So within them, there's some pain or some hurt or some anger or some fear, and their criticism is coming from that place. And so just maintaining the perspective that a lot of the criticism is not really going to be about you. It's going to be about the person criticizing. And then you can just sort of shake it off, send them some love, and move on. And then the final one, which is my favorite and most helpful, is the difference between wholehearted communication and open-hearted communication. And this is just a concept I've been playing with. And so the first part, the wholehearted communication, means that you really are coming from your whole heart. You're communicating with like kind of deep and meaningful and things that are truthful for you. And it's just coming from this very genuine, authentic place. Beautiful. Open-hearted communication in itself is also beautiful, but it makes you a little bit more vulnerable. So open-hearted communication is when you just really open your heart up and you pour your soul into the other person. And what I found is that for blogging and for interacting with people that maybe you don't have that really deep established safety and trust, that wholehearted communication is just a better way to communicate. It makes you less vulnerable to the criticism, but it also allows you to communicate a really powerful message. So try going with wholehearted communication instead of open-hearted communication. And then when you're in your relationships where there's a lot of trust and safety, then definitely go with open-hearted communication, because it's important to have that part as well. But for online, I would say stick with the wholehearted communication. So I hope this is helpful for you. Those are the things that work for me. And thank you so much for sending in your question. And if anyone else watching this video has a question, feel free to send me an email, and I'd love to answer your question next week. And if you want these videos delivered to your inbox, then just come on over to gemmastone.org and put your name in the little box, and I'll make sure that you get the next one. So hope you're having a beautiful week, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.